This is part 2 to the 6 secret money hacks the rich teach their kids that they don't want to share to the poor folks like you. And if you missed part 1, which shows the 4 secret money hacks of the 6 money hacks, well, you better jump onto it, because in a span of 2 days, it racked 500,000 views. And just that video alone, from 1,000 followers, I racked 12,000 followers in a span of 2 days. Oh my God, you guys are blowing this up. Now, to thank all my new followers, which has over 400 comments commented, part 2, please. This is the secret money hack number 5 and number 6. Let's go. Now, before I share these 2 remaining hacks, there's a disclaimer. I'm very hesitant in sharing these 2 hacks, not because I don't want to share knowledge from the rich to you guys so that your kids can be rich. It's because it's very, very controversial, and have an open mind. This is unconventional parenting. So money hack number 5, you got to teach your kids to gamble. I said it. Let me digress. Let me introduce you to this. This is a spinning wheel, okay? Spin to win, which is what it's called. And I call this Lucky Daddy. So this hack, which is teach your kids how to gamble, I learned from a very, very wealthy client. Their kids are also very wealthy, grown to be amazing money-savvy adults. And the concept is, guys, is you got to teach your kids the concept of risk. For example, I've taught you guys from the 4 existing tips in part 1 is, be very clear in terms of how they should spend their allowance, right? Which is basically, rules on how to spend the money, rules in getting money in advance, and learn about loans and, getting money in advance and interest charge when you borrow money, and also, diversifying how you allocate your money and budgeting your money, and also investing into other businesses with your existing money. But leading to hack number 5, which elevates their money savviness skills a little bit more, which is basically, hey kids, you have money, and yes, dad has taught you that if you invest in my business, you get more money. But sometimes in life, in practical life, when you invest, sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes kaput. And this is the concept of risk, kids. And this is how I use this spinning wheel, which I call Lucky Daddy, because I want them to associate that when they see daddy, ooh, it's time to get lucky. It's a gamification of rewards. And I'll give you an example. So as you know, I've got 2 boys, 5 and 7, and they go to school. One of them goes to kindergarten, one of them goes to year 2. And as you know, as parents, when they wake up, you got to be like, hey, kids, wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, wear your clothes, la, 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 la. You're just constantly telling them to do things. So before I met my rich client, and, before he told me this secret hack, which definitely works like a charm, it was this tirelessly being the bloody dinosaur T-Rex parent, just chomping down at our little kids. Like, our little kids will wake up 7 a.m. They need to go to school by 8:30 a.m. And in between, it's like jumping through all these bloody hurdles. Wake up, on time. Do your bed, wear your clothes, brush your teeth, eat breakfast. Wear your shoe, wear your socks. Me over here, rah, 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 rah. Just really cranky parent. Just every morning doing the same thing over and over again until I introduce this. I'm like, boys, welcome to Lucky Daddy, the only casino you're allowed to go before you turn 18. So basically, when they wake up and complete everything, all the chores, breakfast, lunch, clothes, comb their hair, sunscreen on, everything by 8 a.m., they get to do a spin. And out of the 2 boys, the first person that gets to do everything before the other boy gets 2 spins, and the other boy gets 1 spin. But for example, if they don't get all their tasks done before 8 a.m., I usually do 7:55 p.m. just to give them that bit of a buffer, they get 0 spins. Let me briefly show you what they got here, right? And these are all based on what they want. I asked them previously, what do you guys want? So one of them is 10-minute iPad, lolly, okay? And then 15 minutes iPad, double lollies. One of my kids love lollies. And then $2, damn it, $2. If you watched my previous video, which is part 1, $2 is a lot of money in terms of the concept of the $8 allowance per week. Now, it's very important, guys, if you want to introduce this concept into your little family, is that you need to introduce other things that they don't like, which is basically sort of the disincentive of spinning this wheel, which introduces the concept of risk. You can't fill up this whole wheel with goodies, okay? This leads to hack number 6, which is the final hack, which is the non-entitlement mindset. Now, this final hack addresses the biggest roadblock for kids these days to reach success, which is the entitlement syndrome. They think they're entitled to certain things in life because their parents, their young parents, give them a lot of things and they have that concept. And therefore, they don't want to work hard. They don't have grit because they think, well, why should I? Because I'm entitled to that. This kills it and puts a nail on the coffin. When you introduce lucky daddy, or call it whatever in your family, you got to introduce disincentives. For example, when my kids spin, all right, there is like, you might get 20 sit-up to spin again, 20 push-up to spin again. Sometimes they get nothing, all right? They have to read a book 10 minutes to spin again, all right? Or 30 squats to spin again. And let me give you a very hilarious example over here. And I know this video is going to be a bit long, but this is the vibe of this channel. You parents are patient and you got to teach your kids all these lovely concepts. So basically, right, okay, my kid, my eldest, right, he finished everything, right, gung-ho, right, 8 o'clock wake up. He's like, Dad, I want to get the lucky daddy. I want to do double spin. I want to get like 2 15 minutes, 30 minutes video games. So I finish at 8. Before 8:30 a.m. to get to play games, because they don't get to play games until the weekends, right? So he's like, yeah, let's do it, right? So he finished at 7:45, like he gunned it, right? So basically he did a spin. First spin was, 20 squats, spin again. He did that, right? And then he spun again and he got 20 sit-ups, spin again, all right? And he was like, all right, no worries, right? And he spun again, right? And he got like, okay, read a book, spin again. So he went and read a book and he spun again, right? And then next, he spun again and he got nothing, right? And then he was up to his second spin. And then his second spin, he got 20 push-ups, spin again. And then he got 20 sit-ups, spin again. And then he got 20 squats, spin again. And then finally on the last spin, he got nothing again. It's like, GG, bro, like it's Dad. Are you serious? I'm like, son, I sat down with him. I was like, son, sometimes in life, when you put in all your energy, right? Put in everything you have to do what you need to do, sometimes you get nothing. And that's life. Because in life, in reality, life's not fair. And guys, that's how you teach non-entitlement mindset to your kids. This is going to help your kids from an early age to learn the concept, which is hack number 5, about risk, and combined with non-entitled mindset. They're going to be killer kids, okay? And you got to remember, guys, with gambling, I know a lot of what you guys are thinking, gambling, like it's a taboo, like, it's kind of unconventional. Yes, it's unconventional, but what would you rather, right? Would you rather from 0 to 18 you teach your kids your version of gambling and handling risks, or not talking about it all because it's a taboo, and then they grow up and learn about gambling from the big major corporations, as you know, I don't want to name them for defamation cases, and they infuriate their mind and infiltrate their minds with those bad forms of gambling. And guys, only apply hack number 5 and number 6 with this spin wheel is only if you as a family accept that life is all about a gamble, all right? In life, there's no certainty. Just like my favorite author, Helen Keller, once said, security is mostly superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. If you want street smart kids on top of being book smart, apply these 2 hacks on the existing 4 hacks that you already learned in part 1. And I can tell you right now, firsthand, these 2 hacks works. Let me show you. Hey kids, who's gonna win Lucky Daddy today? Me! Woo! You have 16 minutes to go. Go, go, go. And just like that, guys, while I'm recording this TikTok and doing my own thing, they're doing their own thing, 5 and 7. They have goals in mind, plans in mind, 6 hacks in mind. No more cranky dinosaur parent. And one of them is hoping to spin the $2 jackpot so they can put it into their save jar to get their weekly 50 cents interest. If you made it thus far to this long video, well, just a bit of a plug. Nana, the Naughty Savings Jar, pre-order is open. Jump to my bio link. It's ready to be ordered. And I'll be packing it to you very soon.